Deadly Life. Eventually, the shock finally registered with me. A numb feeling spread from the center of my brain almost instantly. Nagito is dead. Even when I saw this before me, I wasn't able to comprehend that reality yet.
What? Huh?
What's going on here?
Are you serious?
Is he really dead? He's not pretending to be dead, is he? I mean, it's Nagito, you know. That's right, it's Nagito. He always messed with us. He always tried to confuse us. That's why I can't believe it. Nagito ended up in such a cruel state. Yeah, he got pretty messed up from the looks of things. Nagito is dead. Deep down, I believed that when the killings finally ended, I'd never see this guy again. I never expected I'd be looking at Nagito's body like this. Nagito probably thought the same thing. I couldn't help seeing it in his dead, frightened face. But on this island, unbelievably abnormal occurrences happen all the time. Even Nagito couldn't escape that truth. But even something as small as that.
A body has been discovered! Now then, after a certain amount of time has passed, the class trial will begin! Don't tell me.
The body discovery announcement. Then it's for real.
Hey!
Then Nagito is really dead.
Damn it!
It's not just that he's dead. The body discovery announcement was made. Does that mean Nagito was killed? No, I'm sure that was an accident. What happened to him there? Killed?
That's right!
Plus, it's one of us. I mean, that's what it means, right? One of us killed Nagito. One of us killed him so brutally. Then it's going to start again. Huh? Class trial is going to start soon, right? Then...
Of course!
Yep, we gotta do it. We gotta find out who Nagito's killer is.
Hey!
No matter who you guys sacrifice, you're determined to survive and leave this island, right?
Shing!
Then the time for action is now. So allow me to give you the familiar Monokuma file.
Wait!
Hold it right there.
Damn it!
What? Don't get in my way like that. I was about to whip out the Monokuma file in such a cool way.
You stupid brother!
Oh, shut up, I can't stand this anymore.
Got it?
How much longer are you gonna keep putting them through this? No more, I won't let you. I'll make sure I pulverize your evil intentions.
Hey!
Say something.
What's this?
Oh, now I remember who you are, you're Monami.
Please!
You just now noticed.
Like...
Anyway, Monami, if you're gonna talk about my intentions, why don't you talk about yours first? What are your intentions anyway? Why are you keeping everyone cooped up on this island? I'm sure everyone here wants to know too, you know? What? No fair, you're shutting up too.
Please wait!
Enough already. We already have enough to deal with concerning Nagito. Please do not say anything else that will confuse us.
Hey,
Anyway, let's begin. But,
this is just...
I mean, in the end, we still have to do it, right? As long as a killing happens, we can't do anything about it, right? We have no choice but to do it, right? Besides, it's our fault that we couldn't even prevent it. I know, that's the only way we can survive, right?
Nice!
Looks like you kids are way more well-behaved than Monami.
Don't fuck with me!
We're tired of this too, you know. That's why I'll definitely make sure to finish this for good this time.
This is kinda depressing.
Does that mean you guys are getting bored of this school trip?
Actually,
Don't worry, the end is near. Huh? The end.
what's the matter?
Don't make a face like a pig that's about to become bacon. You've already noticed it, right? The meaning behind that Monokuma timer. I guess there's only 2 days left, huh? when that timer reaches 0 2 days from now, what will happen to us? The killing school trip will be over.
Hey!
If this will finally be over,
Are you serious?
does that mean we can go home?
What are you gonna do?
Don't count your bears before they've hatched. There's still something you gotta do before that, right?
So,
Once again,
it's the Monokuma file! Phew.
you guys need to find out who Nagato's killer is and survive the class trial. If this ends here, there won't be an afterword at all.
Do your best. Wait!
Hold on.
I won't forgive you.
I won't let you escape this time. Wait right there. What do you guys think? If the school trip is nearly at an end, it's safe to think we can go home, right?
But still,
Kazuichi, I understand how you feel, but we need to focus on Nagato's case first.
Damn it!
Even if we can't go home, it'll be the end for us if we screw up here.
all right!
Then let's hurry up and solve Nagato's case so we can all go back home.
However,
It is nice to think everyone can go home, but that is impossible, right? I mean, someone in this room killed Nagato. There's a killer among us. The weight of those words began to sink into me. That was true of the previous cases, but was it really true this time? No matter how much I tried, I couldn't believe it. Because the victim was Nagato? Because his death was so abnormally cruel? No, it wasn't just that. There was something more to it than that. And whatever it was stuck inside me. Not unlike that spirit is sticking through the torso of Nagato. Oh, we got new investigation music. First, we need to look at the Monokuma file. The victim is Nagato Komeida. Body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there is a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. Something going on with his left hand, too. What a tragic situation. Just reading this is making me depressed. Is there something wrong with this Monokuma file? Again? But what's wrong with it? Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there is a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand.
yep.
It's definitely weird. Well, I guess I'll find out if I look around. That's what the investigation is for. Don't worry or form conclusions on your own. That makes me more worried than I should be. We can discuss it later. Right now is our only chance to investigate. So we should investigate first.
See?
If we don't, there won't be anything for us to discuss. Well, I guess you're right. Then let's start with the area surrounding Nagato's body. I should start with the back of the warehouse. Since the curtain blocked most of the water, this area wasn't affected by the sprinklers that much. Thanks to that, I can properly investigate Nagato's body. Never thought I'd have to investigate Nagato's body. He probably didn't expect to end up like this either. Well, my opening theory here is that whoever is the traitor killed him. And Sonia seems like she would be really obvious. I'm actually leaning towards it being Chiaki. Because of that whole swiping her e-handbook on that card reader. But I don't know. Because something about that just seemed weird. The way they kept framing that. Alright, let's talk to people first. It mattered for Gundam's killing and for Makan's, but it looks like it's different this time. It doesn't matter this time. What doesn't matter?
So,
The time. Looks like the time doesn't matter. It was clearly written in the Monokuma file. Time of death was noon sharp. If it was at noon, what were we doing at that time? What were we doing? Well, right now it's 12:30 p.m. So it also has a clock function. Then that means Nagato died 30 minutes ago. It happened that recently. He's totally a fresh kill. Fresh seems like a bad way to describe it. If it happened 30 minutes ago, was it around the time we were struggling with the bombs? You're right. Those fake bombs were originally supposed to explode at noon.
All right!
Which means whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time is Nagato's killer. Everybody was in the room at that point, though, because Sonia ran in and yelled about the fireworks right before they went off. This could be like when Nekomaru died. The killer could have also used some kind of automatic setup. Also, the crime looks very detailed, so they would have needed time to prepare.
All right!
Then whoever doesn't have an alibi before we found the bombs is suspicious.
Huh?
Wait, none of us have an alibi for that time. That's when we all split up to search for the bombs. Yeah, that's the problem.
Like,
I'm not freaking out about it like Kazuichi, but I definitely can't stop thinking about it. When the Monokuma timer reaches 0 2 days from now, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
that's obviously wrong.
This rotten school trip is going to end, right? We can finally go back home. Carefree till the end. Does that mean you don't think that'll happen?
Well, yeah.
Monokuma might be playing to make us do something after the countdown ends.
Hey,
What do you mean, something?
shut up! Shut up!
He's making us kill each other, you know? What could be worse than that?
Damn it!
I don't know. But this is Monokuma we're talking about, you know? There's no way this went smoothly with a countdown. Anyway, like you said before, if we screw up here, it's the end for us. For now, let's focus on the investigation. We'll think about the countdown after we live through the class trial. Yeah, I know. Then don't bring up strange stuff like that. She looks like she's deep in thought while staring at the ceiling. What happened? Is there something strange about the ceiling?
Yep.
Yeah, about that sprinkler. That's one of the sprinkler heads that activated to put out the fire.
Well,
You can see a girder right next to it, right? There.
see?
Can you see that red streak? Huh? You're right, I definitely see it. Looks like a small red line on the ceiling girder.
Perhaps.
Is that blood? Blood. Color definitely looks absolutely nothing like blood, but we're gonna pretend it does. But there's no way blood could get up there, right? Plus, it's in a straight line. That's why I've been staring at it. I think it's strange. It's definitely strange. I should remember this. Blood on the girder. Why would that be up there? Maybe the spear dropped from there on top of him, but why would the spear already be bloody before it hit him? One of us killed Nagato in such a cruel way. It's too bizarre. I can't do anything except laugh.
So just as I thought.
If only everyone could go home, nothing would make me happier. No, we should finish the class trial, then we can think about what will happen after. Alright, let's check this stuff out. Lighter. Ah, it's an oil lighter. This is where the curtains would have been hanging. It also looks like the fire did extensive damage here. If the oil lighter was placed here...
Just kidding.
Ah, an oil lighter. Someone probably wanted to keep warm. Yeah,
Bring it on.
it's a most foolish thought. This is clearly the cause of the fire.
Well,
Oil lighters can continue to burn even after someone lets go of them.
which means
So using that, the curtain was set on fire. Using the oil lighter, huh? Do you think the killer set up some sort of trick with it?
you are right.
The killer probably planned to destroy evidence by setting this warehouse on fire. They caused the fire to destroy evidence. It's the only reason I could think of why a killer would set fire to their crime scene, but they could have also delayed everybody discovering Nagato because he wasn't dead yet. No, he had to have been dead if he died at 12 o'clock. Looks like a bunch of plastic bottles. Remnants of plastic are scattered all over the place. This is probably... those fire grenades we used to put out the fire. Well, they weren't actually that useful in the end. Fire was only extinguished thanks to the sprinklers. Well, nevertheless, this evidence really isn't all that strange. Why wouldn't it be? Don't you find it odd that the regular firefighting equipment that was supposed to be in the break room was replaced with these? Why? There has to be a reason for that. Monokuma's dead. There's blood coming out of his stomach. Hey. No response. He's dead, Jim. Just kidding, I'm not dead. Is this one of the life-size plushies that were being produced at this factory? If you're mistaking a plushie for me, then there's something wrong with you. You're a stuffed animal too. Don't put oversized garbage there, it's so misleading.
What the heck?
What are you calling oversized garbage? Could this be one of Monokuma's tricks? Then why'd he do it? Making a hole like it got stabbed and going to the trouble of dirtying the hole with blood. Did he try to imitate Nagato's body or something?
What are you saying?
I had nothing to do with that. Huh?
You're so evil.
He's probably lying. Seriously, you're always lying. You should just die like that plushie over there.
What's this?
You seem more pissed as usual these days, Monami, but you better watch what you say. If I feel like it, I can wipe you out easily, you know. I won't give in to your threats. I'll fight you until the very end.
I can't move.
I will definitely take back the seat of world supremacy from Monokuma. Looks like those annoyances are gone. If it wasn't Monokuma's trick, then who did this? Could the killer have done this? If so, is this Nagato's blood? I have no idea how this connects to the incident. For maybe he had the plushie on top of him when the spear came down or something, and then they pulled Monokuma off of him. Why would they do that? That doesn't make sense. I never expected Nagato to die like this. I just hoped for it. He was always spouting nonsense about hope and trying to confuse the hell out of us. But even so, dying like this is just too cruel. Also, he wasn't completely useless. There were times we were only able to reach the truth because of him. But everything good and bad about him is gone. We'll never be confused by him again. We'll never be saved by him again. No, now isn't the time to think about unnecessary things. I need to focus on the investigation right now. For now, I need to investigate everything about this body that catches my eye. And apparently there's a lot. Let's start with this. Nagato's right wrist is tied with rope, but it looks like the tip of that rope burned off. Could this be a result of the fire? That's weird. If the rope is burned off like this, why are Nagato's clothes completely unaffected by the fire when he was so close to the blaze? It was burned beforehand? The knife is stabbed through Nagato's right hand. Did the killer do this? How could they do something so cruel? They probably listened to Nagato for 5 minutes. This knife, it must be from the military base. Military base. Ah, now you mention it, you're right. It looks like a survival knife.
Well,
By the way, it seems wounds on his legs and left arm were caused by the same knife. Which means after the killer was finished stabbing Nagato's legs and left arm, they stabbed the knife through his right hand.
it cannot be.
And then they finished him off with a spear.
How cruel.
Then, does that mean the killer went to the trouble of using 2 weapons, a knife and a spear? But they could have just killed him by stabbing him with that knife. Why did they need to use a spear at all?
You are right.
That is definitely strange. Was there a reason they had to use it? A reason they had to use a spear, huh? Survival knife has been added. You know, thinking about what Nagato said before about how the cases from the first game relate to the cases from the second game. The first game had the bomb that went off and we thought it killed Mukuro Ikasaba. This case has bombs. This case has a survival knife, just like the other one did, and the survival knife ended up being planted there, if I remember correctly. So there are elements of this case that are tied into the case from the first game. And actually, the more I think about it, I was trying to figure out how the fourth case is tied into each other, but I think it has something to do with sacrifice, because Sakura killed herself so that they wouldn't have to worry about her being a traitor. And Gundam and Nekomaru were willing to sacrifice each other so the others could have something to eat, so they wouldn't starve to death, is what I'm getting out of that. So they do all kind of tie together. Wait a minute. I don't know if it's meant to be anything, but a spear killed Nagato. A spear killed Junko in the first game. Though that didn't really have anything to do with the fifth case necessarily. I'm overthinking this, maybe. Maybe not. He must have been in great pain. He clearly had this agonizing look on his face when he died. His mouth is covered with duct tape. This is to keep Nagato from screaming for help.
This is bad.
What a horrible look on his face. The blood splattered all over it doesn't help either. It's a good thing his mouth is covered with duct tape, otherwise I wouldn't be able to look at him. Got a minute? Sorry, excuse me. Chaki moved past Kazuichi and me and squatted down next to Nagato's face. And in one swift movement, she ripped the duct tape off of his mouth. And I hope it hurt him somehow. Hey, what are you doing?
It's gonna be fine.
It'll be fine. I'll put it back right away once I'm done investigating here.
Hey, hey, hey!
Putting the tape back isn't the issue, you ungrateful swine. You're gonna get cursed. Ah, the blood on Nagato's face. It looks like it mostly came from the slice on his left arm. If that's the case,
Man.
it's no use, she's not listening.
Hey, hey.
Hey, about the blood splattered on his face. There's no blood under the duct tape. Okay, so that tells me that he had the duct tape before he got the blood on his face. What's wrong with that?
Well,
This duct tape has crinkles, like it was sticking toward the inside of his mouth, right? Nagato was probably desperately moving his mouth under the duct tape. Seriously, what's wrong with that? She means Nagato's mouth was covered with duct tape before he got those wounds all over his body. So he tried to shout, which caused the duct tape to get sucked into his mouth a bit. Well, what's wrong with that? Is that something we really need to worry about? I don't really get it, but just put duct tape back on his mouth already.
yep.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, this might be some kind of clue, too. I should remember it. Alright, what's going on here? There's a cut on his upper left arm. His legs and right hand have stab wounds, but this wound looks like a slice. It's probably the reason that the wound on his left arm doesn't look that deep compared to his other wounds. Well, regardless, it doesn't change the fact that it's a hideous wound and there's blood everywhere.
Super difficult.
There's something strange. Strange what?
See?
Look at the palm of his left hand. I think that blood is from when his left arm was sliced, but... Doesn't the blood splatter look strange? It cuts off right in the middle of his palm. So he was holding something. Yeah, it definitely cuts off. Maybe that's as far as the blood could reach when it splattered. Well, that would explain the blood on his palm, but... there's something else that's strange. When you flip it over and look at the back of his hand,
Well,
here, there's also blood, but only above the middle joint of each finger. Was he wearing, like, fingerless gloves or something? You're right. Why is it only on this part?
see?
See, it's just as I said, right? It's strange, right? I win. Yeah, sure you win. But it's definitely strange. What did the killer do to make the blood splatter like this? Blood on the left hand. Alright, what else we got here? We got this spear. I want to know what's up with this rope too, but the rope's not coming up with something I can select. A spear with a flashy ornament on it is impaled deeply into Nagato's stomach. There's no way around it. That looks like the fatal wound.
What's this?
Oh my. What's this? Such a strange looking spear, isn't it? The cord extends from the tip of the handle, and there's an iron weight attached to it.
Phew.
I see. You use the cord as a whip to capture the enemy and deliver the final blow with the spear. Is this your first time looking at this too? Of course not. This is the spear of Gungnir, right? You definitely just came up with that now.
Hey!
By the way, I wanted to ask you, where did that spear come from? That looked like one of those spears that were on the wall in Nizumi Castle. I feel like I saw it at Nizumi Castle. What? Nizumi Castle?
What the hell?
I was designed to be afraid of mice, so I can't go in there. Damn you, mice. Damn you all to hell. I see. Even he doesn't know what's inside that castle. Well, more importantly, I need to focus on the investigation. The spear definitely catches my eye, but the weight on the end of the cord coming out of the handle. Looks like that part has blood on it too. But for some reason, this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. It's about the size of a human fist. It's strange that this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. Okay, so he was holding on to it, maybe? I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with his hand that doesn't have blood on it. Also, Chiaki mentioned this earlier, but apparently that spear came from Nizumi Castle. Might be better if I confirm that later. Spear Gungnir has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Alright, what's going on here? Both of Nagato's legs are tied up. Each rope is tied to the pillars nearby. He wouldn't have been able to move at all. According to the Monokuma file, the wounds on his legs are all stab wounds. Does that mean the killer didn't just tie up Nagato, they also stabbed his legs? Why would the killer do something like that?
Damn it!
At any rate, it's pretty sadistic. The killer must have been holding a huge grudge toward him, or they might have been torturing him. Torture.
Huh?
I mean, if they just wanted to kill him, they could have just stabbed him once in the chest, right? If you disregard the spear in his chest, the other wounds were inflicted for reasons other than killing. Which means the wounds all over Nagato's body were from the killer torturing him. If that's the case, what was the killer trying to make Nagato confess? Was it something that would have led to the traitor?
Even so.
Well, even if this was torture, there's no doubt that the killer must have held a deep grudge toward Nagato.
Damn it!
Refusing to let him die easily, I could totally understand a dark impulse like that. But even if they held a grudge against him, would they really have gone this far? I guess I'm done with the area surrounding Nagato's body. Jeez, I can't believe I actually investigated such a grisly-looking body. Even I'm surprised at myself. Does this mean I'm used to it? My classmate's dead body is right in front of me, and one of my peers is the killer responsible. Now I have to investigate his death so I can find his killer. Am I used to something as abnormal as that? That would mean I'm becoming abnormal too. Now then, I guess that's enough investigating the area behind the curtain. The killer's goal wasn't just killing Nagato. There should have been another reason as well. If not, they wouldn't have gone to the trouble of tying him with rope and covering his mouth with duct tape. Not just that, there's no reason to inflict any wounds other than a fatal one. So what was the reason? Looks like I better investigate other areas to figure that out. Alright, I should try investigating the other areas inside this warehouse first. Alright, goodbye Nagato. Alright, what do we got going on here? There are a lot of tipped over Monokuma panels. The panel near the curtain in the back is tipped over and burned. Did the fire do that? Why are they scattered like this? The last time I came here, I seem to recall They should have been neatly put away. Maybe we're the ones who made this mess. Huh?
See?
Look, the tipped over panel by the entrance is really close to the door, right? So maybe the reason these panels are tipped over is... It's fine, I'll open it slowly. Oh, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine. With those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse. Huh, it's not opening. There's something blocking the door. I can barely open it. I knew it. It's a trap. Seriously, just stop it, okay? Didn't I tell you it'll be fine? I just gotta use a little more force. What happened to opening it slowly? Connie ignored her protest when a mighty kick, the door flew open. Could it be? Was that it?
Well?
There's something else I've been wondering.
Hey.
These Monokuma panels are tipped over starting from the entrance to the back of the warehouse, right? Yeah, it kind of looks like dominoes. They seem to be lying on top of each other in a straight line. Yeah, compared to the other tipped over panels, that line is the only one that's neat and orderly.
So...
Isn't this clearly strange? Strange, that means... We could speculate this was done intentionally. Somehow that started the fire. There are a bunch of books stacked on top of each other. Apparently they contain Monokuma's poetry and photos. Sprinklers completely soaked them. I can't even turn the pages anymore. I can't even turn the pages anymore. Well, it's not like I'm missing much. Radio. This is an MP3 player. There's even a speaker plugged into it. But why is this here? Looks like that weird music was playing from there. You know, that music that was blaring when the fire started? Which must have been being used to drown out something. Nagato's screams, maybe? Yeah, you're right. Looks like it's busted from getting drenched by the sprinklers. There's no mistaking it. That music was playing from that MP3 player. I don't disagree with that, but why was the killer playing music from this? All these CDs, they're all copies of Monokuma's music. These should have been burned too. Looks like Sonia is focused on investigating the warehouse. Which reminds me, there's something I needed to ask her about. Now that we've pretty much finished investigating Nagato's body, I think it's time to talk to her. Sonia, do you have a minute? Yes, what is it? I want to talk to you about when that fake bomb Nagato set in the warehouse exploded. Right before it exploded, you said something like this, right? It is alright, it's not a bomb. Why did you know the bombs were a fake? Well, that's not all either. When we were looking for the bombs, why were you at the military base? I thought you were supposed to be searching the Central Island. Plus, when I called for you, you didn't come to the factory right away. Where were you and what were you doing during that time?
Oh my! It cannot be!
Do you suspect me? It is a misunderstanding. I am not the killer. Jesus shit, you son of a bitch. Sonia?
I am sorry!
I'm terribly sorry. I was panicking. I shall calm down and explain to you why I was at the military base. When I first explored the final island, I discovered a vast amount of bombs there. Huh?
Well?
At first I was worried that someone might use them for nefarious reasons if I announced it to everyone. So I kept silent the whole time. Does that mean when you heard Nagato planted bombs, you got suspicious and went to investigate them?
That is...
And as I suspected, the bombs had disappeared. Why didn't you bring that up, you know, way back when he first announced this about the bombs? I thoroughly searched for them inside the military base, but the bombs were nowhere to be found. And because you were searching for them, you were late when we all gathered.
Please listen!
And because of that, I reached a conclusion. The bombs Nagato brought were from the military base, which means they were fake bombs. How did you find out that the bombs at the military base were fake? Because I attempted to use one of them. You tried to blow open the door to the ancient ruins, didn't you? What? Because I was thinking about maybe what if we use something from the military base to do that.
I see.
I thought one of the bombs would be strong enough to blast open the door to the ancient ruin. At the time, I still believed the bombs were real, and I thought that I could use one of them to gain entrance to the ancient ruin.
However, that plan was an utter failure.
There's Monami watching.
The bomb was not real. It was merely a fireworks display. God damn it, all to hell!
See. So that's why you're the only one who knew the bombs at the military base were fake.
I did. As did Mommy as well. She was also secretly peeking at the bomb. Which means...
Those bombs are the same ones that disappeared. It would mean Nagato took them. That is why I knew it was a fake. However, I did think it was strange when Nagato blew up the hotel lobby. That bomb was real, and I could not stop thinking about it. But upon further reflection, that might have been Nagato's plan all along. He showed us a real bomb to make us believe that the bombs he set were real as well. If so, then Nagato's actions were extremely calculated. But the problem is his reasoning for doing it. With this, I have explained everything.
Do you have a minute?
There should be no more reason for you to doubt me. You're right, I got it. Sonia's account's been added. Alright, I pretty much finished looking for clues inside the warehouse. I was able to find some clues, but there are still so many things I don't understand yet.
Hold it.
You look worried. Yeah, I am.
Well?
At a time like this, it might be good if you broaden your investigation range. I mean, it's good to investigate other places as well. She might be right. There are several things I've been wondering about besides the crime scene. The military base that Sonia mentioned, the plushie factory next door, Misumi Castle, where the spear originally came from, and Nagato's room, too. If I'm going to understand the reason for his actions, I need to know more about him. I'm pretty sure the others have already finished investigating.
Can you hear me?
Hey, you guys, isn't it about time we leave this place and try exploring other areas, too? In response to Chiaki, the others gathered around her.
I see.
I was just thinking about proceeding to another area. Seems we had the same idea.
Huh?
But is this safe? There won't be anyone to guard the crime scene.
Yep.
We don't have a choice. There just aren't enough of us. Besides, we've investigated all that we can here. Chiaki, why are you trying to get us away from this place? I guess you're right.
See?
Also, it looks like the clues we found aren't enough to piece this incident together. So we need to search for them in other areas, probably. Well, alternatively, if there aren't any clues in other areas either, we'd have to give up completely. You don't really need to say that.
Hey!
Then it's okay if we leave this place. It's okay. There's no time for us to stand around. In order to survive, there's no other way except to do it. In order to survive, we need to find Nagato's killer. If we don't sacrifice that person, nobody can survive. That's our reality. That's why there's no time for us to stand around.